Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to debut our AI cold outreach tool that literally closes itself. Let's dive in. Okay, so I've literally just finished recording a webinar with my audience, showing them step by step how to build this any niche sales Android tool that you can use for cold outreach via email or Facebook ads or whatever you want. It totally changes the game because we're not hard selling. We're asking them to experience AI rather than ramming it down its throat. It works fantastically well. If you are watching it during the premiere, then please ask questions. Myself and my team will be there to answer any of those questions that you have. And if you're watching it afterwards, please comment below if you've got questions as well and we'll help you out. You'll notice in the call to action in the webinar, there'll be a link in the description box, which you'll click, which will give you the step-by-step version of the video recording if you're more of a reading person rather than a watching person. Okay, so enjoy and I'll speak to you soon. Right, let's get started. So what I'm going to talk about here today is the cold outreach, any niche sales Android. Okay, so why I like this is because it doesn't make us feel like part of the pest patrol. And this any niche sales Android that we're about to show you how to build today closes clients by getting them to experience it rather than relying on our sales chops in order to close. Okay, we know how painful cold outreach can be at times. We totally change the dynamic when we're able to get our clients to experience it rather than having it forced down their throat. Okay, so this is me and my family. We're in a paper lead agency in the UK called Flexxable, and most of you will know me from my teaching, which is via our business called Flexxable. Okay, so you might have, I kind of milking this for forever, but I used to play professional basketball, and I like to move fast. Here at Flexxable, I just hammer stuff I implement like crazy. And everyone sits on the bench at some point in their career, so please do keep an open mind. But if you don't want to move as fast as I do, that's absolutely fine. We've got a document that I'm going to share in a sec, which will allow you to take this and go and do it yourself in your own time. Okay. Right. So when it comes to kind of cold outreach, okay, a lot of people get this wrong. The most important thing, 60% of the success that you're going to experience with cold outreach is your audience. Okay. No matter what anyone says, you think about real estate people and they're trying to buy houses or whatever, right? They're going after the people that are struggling with their mortgages. They're going after repossessions. The proper, property buyers are the one they've got a list, right? They buy data and they're able to call the people that are close to selling and really want to sell for a good price, right? And the same goes for whenever we're creating an offer and putting it towards our audience, right? We must always try and get that data in front of us where we know that there's a really good chance of people buying from us. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the audience today because I haven't got anything concrete for you just yet. However, I am in talks with a really cool data company that's going to be able for you to be able to kind of scrape some really good data, some amazing data, where you're able to use the offer that I'm talking about today to put that offer in front of this audience. Okay, but it's not today. It's going to be maybe in a few weeks' time, but I'll keep you posted on that. Today we're going to talk about the offer, right? Which is the sales Android, the any niche sales Android, which people experience rather than have to sell to, if that makes sense. And then the last 10% is your copy and creative, which is the easy part. All right. When you've got the audience in the offer, the copy is just like, it's very easy to do. So I wouldn't worry about that for now, but I will be teaching you how to do that down the line. Does that make sense, everyone? No matter what anyone says, 60% of our success is going to come down to the audience. All right. Same when we're running Facebook ads. We want to make sure we're putting our copy, our ads in front of the right people. Okay, good. It's all about the audience, as John just said. All right, cool. But it helps if you have a good offer too. All right. I've only got a few slides. So let's just dive in, okay? I'm going to show you this today. How do I get rid of this? Okay. Right, so before we get started, Nat, can you drop the link of this Google Doc into the chat? So this is basically a step-by-step guide about what we're going to run with today and explain today on the call, okay? So if you are someone that is more of a reader and wants to just implement by instruction, then feel free to grab this Google Doc and run with it. It's got everything you need. We spent a lot of time putting together this training. It's all free. You're going to love it, okay? So grab that, and if you have to leave the webinar early or whatever, then please feel free to take it and run. I've got no problems with that whatsoever, okay? Oh, people are jumping on that Google Doc. Wow, okay, good. All right, so the way this works, okay, if we look at what our Any Niche Android looks like, we've got a landing page here, right? And if you think about putting this landing page in front of your existing clients, right? And we do this all the time. We might say something like, "Hey, Joe, it's been a while since we've chatted. How you doing?" And they get back and say, "Yeah, pretty good, mate. Like leads are converting, they're okay, but we're always looking for new partners." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Well, maybe it's not the leads that you're struggling with. Maybe it's your quality of lead and your speed to lead, etc. Have you thought about using AI to be able to help chat with clients and be able to move them from qualification through to an appointment automatically with ChatGPT?" And because GPT is so hot right now, and they know about it, they just don't know how to implement it. And as soon as you put this in front of them, they kind of opt in like crazy. Right. So let's say one of my ex-clients is a broadband company or something like that, which actually happened the other day. They would opt in, they'll put their details in here, their full name, their phone, their email, their industry, and their number one service or product. And they would test drive the sales Android. Okay, and for you clever ones out there, you'll know that you're able to, if you have a look at our ads manager here, don't know where this is going to show up. I'm sure we can have a look at this. So there it is, right? So demo our sales Android, what industry are you in, what's your main product or service, okay? After their name and email address, which is exactly the same as this landing page here. So once you get this build, it doesn't matter whether you point traffic to this landing page here, or like we've spent, I think, almost £100,000 now sending traffic to the same thing, to the same Android, okay? And let's take a look at what this looks like after people opt in, okay? So I preloaded a guy here. Hopefully he's kind of come up and this isn't going to break. But anyway, so this guy came from one of our Facebook ads where the hook was something like, if you're unable to convert your leads and then the quality isn't very good, then please demo our ChatGPT sales Android for you to be able to see how it can close your leads, etc., etc. Okay, I've got ad copy and all that for it. But as you can see here, after they opt in, and this is in HighLevel, by the way. "Hi, Aaron, let's play a game. Pretend you're interested in pest control services." So if you think about what he's done here, he's told his industry is pest control, and he probably was ant removal or something, right? So he comes in here. "Thanks for reaching out. I've got a few questions to ask you to help demonstrate if you qualify for our pest control extermination service. Ready? Here we go." So as soon as he puts his industry and service in here, that's where the magic happens. We're able to send that information over to OpenAI, and OpenAI writes its own prompts, right?
Yeah.
And you say, I'm just talking to Graham here because he's the one that built this, right? So, and then it'll send back and instantly write its own prompt for the industry that we're talking about. Okay, so it's come back here and now HighLevel knows that this person is after pet extermination services, and it will qualify this lead like this, okay? So yes, we're having an issue with ants in our home. Great, thanks for sharing. Now let's move on to the next question. And by the way, this is all AI, right? This is not human. Question 2, could you please let me know your location? We want to make sure you're within a service area, which includes a 30-mile radius from our location. And this is all made up stuff, you know. It just happens so quickly. It's awesome. Yes, we're all in Overland Park, Kansas. Perfect. Thanks for providing your location. question 3, are you willing to schedule an appointment for pest inspection and treatment within the next 7 days? Yes. Okay, great to hear. Thanks for your willingness to schedule an appointment. Last question. Do you have a property that requires pest extermination services, such as a residential home, commercial building, or industrial facility? Let's come back and say residential home. Okay, so by this stage, like the client is going, what the hell? This is unbelievable, right? This is like literally going to change my business. And it's come back and said, awesome, Aaron, thanks for providing this information. Now, based on your responses, I can confirm that you're qualified as a qualified prospect for our pest control extermination services. And then I say, experiment over. Down here again, at this point, we would ask the client to book a call using our calendar or send them a sales letter. Does that make sense? Do you want to hear more about our done for you sales Android? And then what happens is he says yes, like this guy did, because he's obviously super duper impressed. We click on this landing page. We go to our offer, which is get the perks of a 24/7 sales team without the expense, thanks to a ChatGPT sales Android. All right, and this is our Google Doc. We have a quiz at the end, and they go through this and come out the other side, and then we close them. It's really, really cool how well this works. Okay, as I said, if we have a look, I'm not going to go back into our ads, but we've done about 29,000 B2B leads using this exact same qualification process using AI. And our cost per lead is about $4 per business owner. It's absolutely nuts. I've never seen an offer that is so sticky and converts so well. All right. So I guess, I'm running through this relatively quickly. And as I said, I have given you a Google Doc for you to be able to go through this slowly, like you said. But what I want to do now is have a quick break, and we'll have some questions, some kind of superficial questions from people who want to ask them in the chat box. And then I'll pass you over to Graham, and he's timed himself. And if you've got a HighLevel account and the appropriate account set up over in the AI world, he thinks he can get this set up in 8 minutes. All right, I'm going to put the pressure on him, but it's super easy, super fast. And I think you will be able to do this too if you can follow what Graham's taught. All right, so any questions before we kind of move over to Graham? Ricardo says, is this recorded? Yes, it is recorded, and we'll be putting this into the school group later. Anyone want to chat?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Lovely. We have spoken, Dan, for many years, by the way.
Yep.
We do know each other.
I know. I just haven't spoken to you in the flesh, Nick.
That's true. It's amazing. I know. But anyway, hi. Yeah, you say that you're closing them, and yeah, I can see how the bot truly is closing itself if you put it into a position where it's selling for that particular customer. It turns into the no-brainer offer, doesn't it? It's wonderful. When you say you're closing them, are you trying to get that into like an autonomous version of closing where you just send them a payment link and hope they sign up, or are you actually getting someone on the phone sales-wise to take their money? How's that work?
Yeah, so we originally started selling this to agency owners. As you probably know, you might have bought it yourself, and that was completely closing itself. So we had a sales a link at the end of the Google Doc, and people just bought it. It was unbelievable. We put it out there, we ran some ads to it, and it was literally closing itself. Okay, it was just awesome. Business owners, we're still in the process of perfecting what we're doing. So it means that we have got Jamie jumping on calls. I'm not sure if Jamie's here today. I think he is, but he just says he's basically turning up to the call and taking their money because they've already experienced the Android. They've already read the Google Doc, which I think I showed you briefly before. They've been through a quiz at the end. If they're not a qualified prospect, they're kicked out. And they get to the point where they're as hot as they could, or they're the closest to the hole they could ever be. They're ready to drop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it is a bit of a different environment from agencies to businesses.
Yes.
But I'd imagine the businesses are going to be pretty hot by the time they've actually demoed it themselves. Takes away some of the sales needs, isn't it?
Yeah, and they got a lot more money than agency owners as well.
Yeah,
there's a lot more money to be made selling to big solar companies or whatever. We landed the biggest solar company in the UK, spending £600,000 a month on ads at the moment. So they look at this and they go, "Oh my God, this is going to change everything for them."
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
We're finding that prompts is everything as well. I mean, it's also new. It's only been out really AI for a few months. We've spoken to Jamie as well. He's amazing, but we're finding that prompts are incredibly important to do the job as well. And it's sort of evolving almost on an hourly basis at the moment. It's incredibly exciting.
We've already got the prompt for you guys as well. It's already pre-written in the snapshot that you guys will get. So the prompt's already done for you guys. And because this is for any niche, the same prompt works for everyone.
Wow.
So we're actually handing you the keys to something pretty special here. It's free for everyone on this call today, by the way, if you have a look at that Google Doc.
How do we see that?
If you go into the Google Doc that Nat shared before,
yep,
you'll see the snapshot. If you download the snapshot, then you'll get it.
Got it. Okay.
It's inside the snapshot, right, Graham?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Donald said, while I was testing, it looked like there was a real person and AI in the thread. Is that true? Well, no, like we do sometimes put in our funnel, Donald. If you've been through our stuff before, we have a question where we say, "Do you want to speak to a human?" Now, if you come back yes, then Nat or my sales team will come in and chat to you. So it's all AI unless you ask to speak to a human.
Brilliant.
For real estate niche, do you use OpenAI ChatGPT on Zapier? So it's OpenAI for the prompt, isn't it? And ChatGPT for the chat.
For real estate, yeah. I mean, for the prompt to get the qualifying questions, it's actually the inbuilt ChatGPT inside HighLevel.
Okay.
And then it's Zapier after that.
And Zapier, yeah. Do you email invites to test the bot to a list in your niche, right? Kevin, yeah, that's a good question. So I always work with people that already know, like, and trust me already. So I would exhaust my current and past and kind of warm contacts before I go cold. So I usually send them the URL, and then if I want to go cold, then I'll use cold email. Well, I don't do any cold emailing software or anything like that. I just use ads, but other people like to do cold email. It's the same concept because I showed you the landing page versus the Facebook ad. Of those 20K, 9K business leads, how many are converting to sales? I think it's about 600 sales now. But as I said, some of them are agency owners. But the real thing is we're building a massive list, right? Like you've seen how I do all my email marketing and stuff like that. So I'm playing the long game here. For $3 a lead, $4 a lead, or whatever it is, it's like a gold mine right now. Craig, what are some of your qualifying questions in the quiz, if I may ask? Yeah, good question, Craig. So do you do 50 leads per month or more? Do you have a CRM? And
Are you currently spending on marketing?
are you currently spending on marketing? We always like to go after customers that are spending on advertising already. But this is the cool thing I keep on saying to people. You know, when Facebook ads came out 10 years ago or whatever it was, right? It's probably longer now, how awesome it was. My argument is that, yes, it was awesome, but only maybe 20% of the business out there actually need to advertise. When you've got AI or something that's as huge as this coming, like every business needs it now. So it's opening up the floodgates to a ton of business for you and I as marketers. I always say we're about a year ahead of the game. Okay, as the general public. Sean, I'm not going to get it. Sean has asked, so you're getting the AI to ask the exact questions you want. It's all in the prompt. I'm not going to go into too much here. I'm going to hand over to Graham in a sec. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. There's a ton of like really techie questions. Can you put and I'm not good at tech. Can you put the Google Doc in the chat again? I got disconnected and I can't say it. Yes, I am sure Nat can put it in. Thank you.
I'll drop it in now. Yeah.
Just got here. Can I get the Google Doc? Don't see the Google Doc. All right, cool. Inbuilt OpenAI in a HighLevel. We're not using the inbuilt thing here, are we?
We are, yeah.
Oh, we are.
Yes. Okay. Not the conversational AI. No, we're not using that.
I think that's what he meant. Yeah.
No, it's just the workflow AI where it's just one prompt you send, you get a response, and you can use that response inside your next prompt that goes as API.
All right, cool. Byron. What kind of prices we suggest? I think Jamie just told me, I mean, we do a 5K plus 6K offer if it's database reactivation, 5K up front, and then 6K when we put 25K worth of business into their business. Or if it's a smaller business, then we do something like a $1,000 build out and $500 a month, which I think Jamie just sold another one of them yesterday. Ron, are you selling this with a setup fee and recurring payment? Yes. So $1,000, 500 per month, ranging from about, if it's a small business, 300 to 500 per month. Craig, okay, sales are from the Google Doc, not an actual phone call. Yes, Sean. Yeah. Duncan's just saying, I saw your ad the other day, Duncan. I noticed, no, I didn't know if you noticed I commented.
Hey there.
Hey, mate. Yeah, how are you?
Good. Yeah. Thanks for putting this group together. It's been giving me some motivation to put some stuff together. And like I said, my bot that I cobbled together just booked its first appointment a couple of hours ago for
Nice,
next
man.
week.
Nice, man. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Thanks.
Any limit to the amount of prompt questions we can ask the prospect before it exits the conversation chat? Yeah, so we started with 3 questions, and it wasn't enough.
3, yeah.
And we put
I
up
think
4.
We put up to 4, yeah.
Up to 4. You can get it to ask as many as you want, right?
Yeah, but just I suppose that like the more questions you get it to ask, the more chance it possibly may go off piste a little bit.
Kilter, yeah. Still not perfect. When pricing to quote, Stan, I'm not sure what you mean there. You can just use your own conversions. Michael, is what you're showing today the click and deploy sales Android? No, it is not. If you read the Google Doc, you'll see. Thank you, Ben. So we need to build a new Android for a client, or can we get away with the any niche Android? That's a really good point, Byron. So this is the cool thing, right? When you have the capabilities to build this for your own agency, then guess what? You'll be able to build it for your clients as well, because it's the same concept when you think about it. All right. How you're onboarding new clients, using their CRMs or adding sub accounts for it in each HighLevel. A little confused on how this would work.
Adding sub accounts or in a CRM, it depends on what they've got. If they've already got a CRM and they don't want anything else, then I think Jamie tries to build out in there. But the majority of people, I think we give them a sub account in our GHL.
Yeah. Katara is asking, if you exhausted your warm audience, what would be the best outreach methods? I mean, it's pretty easy for me. I'll scrape like we're going to talk about the audience on the next webinar that I do, but I'd be cold outreaching them with something like, hey, Joe, I see you're a solar company in Florida. Have you got any unconverted leads that AI might be able to close for you on a performance deal? Something like that. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. It's a really good offer. Omar, I'm confused. You teach us in the click and deploy sales Android. So the click and deploy sales Android is, so there's a few elements to that. You get prompt writing training, you get qualifier, B2C Android, and you've got to get our sales Android that you can implement for the client. Okay, so it's a bit different to this offer. This is just a pure B2B Android. And if you want rent out your Android or Roya, then we give you all the tools to do that. You know, we give you the sales training, the ads, the copy, everything that goes with it. Guys, there's too many questions right here at the moment. I'm going to have to hand over to Graham. I'm not going to put the pressure on him too much and say it's going to be a 8-minute build out, but can you guys, everyone can see my screen, right? HighLevel is going super slow, which is a bit concerning. I think it's because of all the people on the webinar or whatever, right? But all right, Graham, are you good to go from here?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to change seats to Graham. Sorry, guys. Grab the mic.
Right. Okay, guys. Hey, how are you all doing? I'm going to try and do it as quickly as possible for you guys. So we've already got the snapshot uploaded. Obviously, if you're doing it, you'd click on it, import it, and then you'd come to this area, sub accounts, and you'd go add sub accounts. You would go into imported snapshots and find the snapshot. I'm going to go into my own snapshots because that's where it is. It's called this one, Any Niche SA Snapshot. And then you want to build it out. I'm going to do it manually. You could search for your company if you wanted to, but just for ease, I'm just going to type in fake.
So people put their own details in here, right?
Yep.
And business details, yeah.
And you'd put your business name, but obviously we've already done ours, so just pop that in the 4. You put in your street address, UK state problem. There we go, number and time zone. Cool. So that should build out the snapshot basically, and then we need to go in and we need to make sure we update a few things. So first of all, I'll just go and update. Got to switch to sub accounts. And then I will go down to settings and I would go to custom values, which is here. And you just want to update the custom values that are in here. So email name, that's the name that's shown when an email comes out from this account. So ours would be Dan Wardrobe, yours would be your agency or your own name. It's up to you, or your client's name.
By the way, as I keep saying, we have got step-by-step training to do this in your own time. So if you are missing this or Graham's going too fast, then it is in the school group. Okay, so don't panic.
Yeah. And this sending email one, this is basically the email that you're going to send all your emails out from. It's just so in all the automations we've got, they've all got custom values in the sending name and the sending email. It just makes it easy for you guys, so you don't have to update every single email. And just update it once here, and everything's updated for you. I'll just update that now. And then in the GDoc link, this is where you'd type in your kind of like your call to action link. So ours, as Dan showed you earlier, is a GDoc that is on our Unbounce page.
We call it a Google Doc because it converted so well, and then we just recreated the look of a Google Doc inside Unbounce, if you're wondering why we do that.
Yeah, so it's important to pop that in the custom value there. And then next up, if we want to go to Zapier, and you want to go to Zaps, I've got a lot of folders in here. You may just be brand new on this, so you can just upload it now. But I'm going to go into my folder and add a Zap. We basically want to get a catch hook, which gives us a kind of like a catch hook link that helps us send data to ChatGPT. So I'm going to create a new Zap for you now. And on the trigger, we want to go find webhook. And we want to go catch hook. Ignore that bit there. And on the test part, we're going to go get the webhook URL, which is the catch hook. I'm going to come back in here and we're going to pop it in this section here. And this will update all the workflows with the correct webhook. So that'll be the last thing we need to do on that. Next up, I'm going to add our domain to this sub account. Now, I've already got our domain pointing to go high level, so I don't need to set it up. In the course, there is a video on how to set up your domain. I'm just going to pop ours in now, though. I've already done that for our other one. Like so. So this is just your subdomain that you can pop in and it'll work. Then we want to go and add a phone number. So you want to go to phone numbers and you want to press add number. And obviously we're in the UK, so I want a mobile number. So I'm going to type in 07 because it's the start of every single mobile number in the UK. Pick one. And I'll get that one. The next thing we want to set up is we want to set up that form on a web page that Dan showed you, which is all in here. As you can see, it's in the snapshot. It's got a two-step funnel, which is the any niche Android, then a thank you page. What we want to go and do is we want to go to settings and we want to update the domain and press save. That will give us a link. Don't worry about that. That's because we've got a few on this domain already. So now that's done, we want to go and create a contact. Just a test contact. You just press the plus button there. And then you just want to put in a test email address. I always put a plus afterwards because the memory key in ChatGPT remembers a lot. And I have tested ChatGPT a lot. So I need a very big thing after my name and my email. And you can do that. So my actual email is graham@flexxable.com. Obviously, you put a plus after Graham and then anything else after that. And it basically creates a new email, but it's still linked to that same email address if you care for the meaning. And then we want to put a phone number in and we just want to press save. So that's all you need to do. First name, last name, email, and phone number. And then when you're in the contact, it should open it up now. We've got a workflow called test workflow. And we put the lead through that, it updates all the fields you're going to need for the Zap. So let's type in test up here, test webhook, add. It's going to add everything that we need. It's also going to populate the second prompt, which is in your custom value, just to show you where that is. Settings, it's the only custom value I didn't update earlier. That should get updated now because it's gone through, and that is the prompt that's there for you.
So our prompt, as Nick was saying, the value of what we're providing here is inbuilt into that snapshot.
Yep. So we don't need to give you the prompt; it's already in there. And that sorts out the second prompt. The other prompt is in another automation, which we're going to sort out now. But next up, we want to go and sort out the Zap. So we've already created this. We're going to go down and press test trigger because the test webhook has basically sent a test through to this webhook here. And we're going to press continue. And then we want to find ChatGPT. Now, again, there is a video that shows you how to connect your ChatGPT to Zapier, but that's in the course. I'm not going to do that now because I was already connected. You want to select conversation, press continue. You want to choose your account. And then you want to go press continue. And now we want to build out the ChatGPT. So basically, it's all going to be from the webhook. So this one, we're going to want lead response to be in this one. So I'm going to pop in that. So you can see example text, that's where it's come from. And then memory key will be their email address. Username, that's going to be their first name. And then the assistant name, we normally call it Dan's Sales Android, but you can call it whatever you want. Assistant instructions, this is where you put your prompt. So you want to type in prompt, and it should be a custom field, which is here. And then we just leave that the same. We press continue, and we press test action. We'll test, just bring through some test data so we can use it a bit later when we bring it into HighLevel. Cool, so that's come through. So the content is obviously it's going to be gobbledygook because it was just example text popped in there, but that's all we need to set up the Zap. Press the plus button. We're going to get up lead connector now, which is HighLevel inside Zapier. We're going to add and update the contact. We're going to press continue. We're going to press choose. This is where we have to connect our account. So I'm going to go and connect a new account. And I've got to go and find that. That will be in settings. It will be in business profile. And it should be this one here. Just press copy, little clipboard there. We come back. We paste it into this part. And press continue. That will connect you to your lead connector account inside Zapier. I always edit the connection name. So any niche demo, just so I know. Press continue. Then we can just add in the email address. And then we want to scroll down, want to mark lead as false. And then we want to go to AI response, and we want to go to ChatGPT. Scroll down to the bottom, there should be like a reply. This always changes what it's called. So you just want to make sure it's what ChatGPT has said, basically. It should be its reply at the moment. It has been AI response before. So we're going to pop it here. Then that should be done. I'm going to skip the test on that one. I'm going to add another. I'm going to add a filter. And this basically just listens out for when it says experiment. There is a workflow inside HighLevel that does it as well.
The reason why we do that is because we say experiment over, right?
Yep.
And then we send them the Google Doc as soon as that happens. Oh. Do you remember when I showed you that conversation inside HighLevel? he'd been through, he'd qualified, he'd been impressed, and then we said, hey, it's down here again, experiment over.
Yep. Press continue, and then we want to do lead connector again. Choose event, add an update contact, so it's already on the same account, which is very important to check that you've got the right account. That's why you want to name it properly. Use the email to find them again. And then mark lead as false. And then right to the bottom, experiment over. I'm just going to type in yes. Press continue. So skip test. And then I'd publish. Name it actually, sorry. And that's it created.
That's the whole thing done.
Yep.
Where do we see the landing page?
Landing page would be here. You'd go back to sites on the side. And then we would click on that. Because we've got the thing there, we just click on this button to open it up. And this would be
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. And then you would if you wanted to test it, just to make sure it's all working okay, you'd put all your details in there again with a different email address this time. And then you test drive the sales Android. Just to be on the safe side, if you were going to do that, I would go back to contacts and delete that test contact that you've already got there. I'll just go and delete that out, just so there's no overriding data.
So while we're I'm gonna it always seems to break whenever we're going to test it, right? But let's do a who wants to put in a really random niche and industry type?
What about waste management? That's random.
Okay. So there's a little error there because usually it says industry type and then something else underneath that, or number one
Rubbish
service.
collection or something.
Rubbish collection.
Yeah.
So will that come into our high level after we do this, Graham?
This will come into our demo account.
That demo account. All right. So there we go. And that's done. So if you imagine it took Graham about 10 minutes to do this, it's going to take you longer. As I said, I mean, I'm bamboozled just watching him and how quickly it goes, right? But as I said, in the school group, you'll notice that there's full training on how to do this. You go as fast or slow as you want. And yeah, you can have it up and running and you can basically start sending this link out to your clients to what I call impress the shit out of them, basically. So Graham, the SMS has just come through to Graham now. He's going to have a play with it. And then we'll come back and have a look at how it all went in a second after we continue on with the Q&As. But guys, this is pretty special stuff. I'm just going to swap seats with Graham again. Come back, put the mic on, and then we'll do some Q&As. We'll come back and see if I embarrass myself with Graham's test, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh no, I'm gonna stop sharing it. We'll come back and have a look in high level in a sec. But what do you guys think? Hey, any questions? Pretty cool. Fast for you guys. Super fast.
I've noticed that you're still using 3.5. I'm guessing that's for token reasons. But we're using 4 and we found that it was just mind-blowing even further in terms of GPT. But no, what you guys are doing is incredibly inspiring. And Graham, I think, is a robot himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Nick, why we're not using GPT-4 is because it has a limit on the amount of tokens you can use per minute, and we run out of tokens quickly.
Yeah, we're finding the same, actually. It's easier on a small scale, but I think that's going to be relieved in the coming weeks, isn't it? But we found that the answers are just mind-blowing on 4.
Oh, awesome. Well, I don't know how many SMS conversations we have. Did we do a chat the other? We do 44,000 SMS conversations a month at the moment. And we've actually ramped down our ad spend quite a lot, but you know, it's just so cool seeing these come in and this Android closing itself. It's just, I mean, I don't want to harp on about it too much, but we are at a special time here. Yeah, and I think we can really do some damage, and that's why I've created this for you guys, because I think you can run with this relatively quickly. The only issue you're going to have is what you sell these clients afterwards, right? So you're going to have to start cutting your chops. And that's why we've got our school group. If you haven't joined it already, it's called the AI Automation Agency. Nat, if you can just put that in, I'm going to put it in the chat box.
They should already all be in there. I think this is only for the school group, isn't it? This Webby. So
yeah. So oh yeah, that's true. So you're only invited to this because you're here, right? Well, I'm sure there's some people that snuck in, some naughty people. But anyway,
me included. It's actually my wife who's part of the group, Angie.
Nick, ban him. No, quickly ban him.
I am an old school Flex member, though.
You are. All right, cool. All right, let's get into some questions, and then we'll run through the demo test in a second, see if this worked for waste management. Where are we?
Dan, what's the thought process behind scaling down your ads at the moment?
What is the reason? Oh, because we're booking too many appointments for Jamie.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
too many appointments. Like he's absolutely slammed. So
yeah.
I wanted to up it. We're only spending £250 a day at the moment. I wanted to up it to 1,000, but like we just haven't got enough salespeople.
Gee whiz, yeah.
Yeah.
It is quite technically in the background, isn't it? I know.
Yeah, that's right. And delivery does take a while to get going. Alvin, when you're putting together monthly pricing, how do you estimate what the SMS and OpenAI costs would be to service that client? We actually have a cost calculator that allows us to estimate that inside the Roya program, Alvin. ROI Alon asked a question. Where is it? If I missed it, I probably skipped it because it might have been too hard. But hi, any limit to the amount of prompt questions we can ask the prospect before? No, I did ask that one. Yeah, we can ask as many as we want, really. But I've lost the questions now. Is pricing always monthly, or has there been a pay per lead plan? John, like it really comes down to what you want to do, right? Like I can totally see this working on a per appointment basis. So let's say this big solar company, right, that we're working with, our offer could be, we'll build out your sales Android and we're not going to charge you a penny for this, right? And if you hand over 100,000 of your database, we'll only charge you of your old unconverted leads. We'll only charge you per appointment, right? They're dead to you anyway. So we'll just charge you per appointment that books in for your sales team. So you can do it on a performance basis. You can do it on an upfront build basis. You can do it on a monthly basis. It really depends on how you want to do it. And by the way, like this is not just about the speed to lead stuff, right? Like I always like to listen to my clients. One of the students in Rent Out Your Android program figured out that they were running, you might have seen this, right? It's also in the school group, but he was running ads and he found out that a few of the restaurants he was talking to were struggling with Google reviews. And then he went and built a reviews Android to be able to answer them and comment back and make sure that they're on top of it. And he's charging them a recurring fee for that. You're going to find a ton of different ways that AI can help your businesses. Again, that's why I put this group together, the AI Automation Ninjas, because we want to have it as a resource for all these cool ideas that keep on coming up. And people are going to be collaborating all types of cool stuff, all right? Are you always signing up for the A2P or whatever it's called for each number you use? By the way, our A2P is still not through yet, right? Which is pretty embarrassing, but it hasn't stopped us. I mean, that's the main thing, right? We're doing a lot of volume and lots of conversations. And yeah, sometimes it breaks, but for that cost per lead, I don't really kind of give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Like we're still building the database. We're still getting people to opt in. I like playing the long game with people that come into my ecosystem. Can we connect it to any CRM? So if you're working on behalf of clients, it's highly unlikely that they're all going to have HighLevel as their CRM, right? So yes, you can build this Android independently. Well, the AnyNiche Android is yours inside your own HighLevel account, right? But if you're looking to connect a AI solution to your client CRM, then yes, it can be done with a little bit of tech help, which is what, by the way, we've got a recommended tech partners tab here inside the school group, which has got 6 of the guys that have kind of been vetted by us over here at Flexxable that are really good. We'll be able to give you a hand, okay? Does this Android work with Make or HighLevel's connector to get around using Zapier? Yes, it does. Yeah, Make works. What verticals have you seen success with as this for our clients. So goodness me, like we got dog trainers, we got real estate, we got personal injury, we got solar. I mean, it's any niche. Debt consolidation. Music teachers, any niche. Like we've seen loads of different industries come on. I basically said, as long as they're spending on marketing and they've got a pulse, we'll sell them an Android. What do you mark the lead as false in Zapier?
Because it's already coming as a lead. So the lead event is when they've entered the form or when they've come up a Facebook ad. Then all the other stuff is just updating contacts in that lead. So it's not technically a lead. So you mark it as false then.
Cool. Is there going to be a replay? Yes, there'll be a replay posted in the school group.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday, I think it's going to come out. Okay. Is it possible to trigger this from GMB chat? I haven't done that, but I'm sure it could be. Yeah, sure it could be. I keep on getting spammed by Google My Business people inside my Paper Lead Ninjas group, right? It does my head in. And I've never really done GMB, but I'm sure it can be. Wow, super quick. Thank you. Absolutely incredible how fast you built it. Thanks, Sean. I just joined Roya. I haven't gone through everything yet. Is this the same demo bot in Roya? So in Roya, we have an any niche Android, which is what you've just seen. We also have a specific niche Android. Sometimes it's good to really niche down and do one just for swimming pools. And then you can kind of tailor it to your industry. We have a lot of people that are kind of HVAC specialists, you know, that have got 100, 200 HVAC clients on their HighLevel SaaS program, right? And so it's easy for them just to kind of niche down rather than go broad. And that's why I've created the kind of niche Android and also the any niche Android. Are you still adding the weight steps into the workflow in Zapier? Yes. Did he put experiment without an E? He might have.
Yes.
Interesting.
Just it doesn't normally make a difference, but I've been on a few things where capitalizing things do affect. So it's just what I do now. It's just
interesting. Okay, cool. Is ChatGPT running faster now, so you don't need it? Are you still adding the weight steps? Okay, yeah, I think Graham answered that. So how does this relate to cold outreach, cutting through the noise of specific cold outreach techniques, right? So yes, basically, you read our Google Doc. I just wrote this with Nat today, right? So it's pretty niche, okay? But I'm not going to read it all through it, right? But what we're saying here is, you know, you want to feel wanted. You're not like we're needy or desperate to be noticed. That's why cold outreach tends to be our least favorite thing to do, okay? It's not we're too good for it beneath us. It's just we feel bad for not doing it enough. There's always a power struggle as well where you're reaching out to clients and they're just getting bombarded. My plastic surgeon mate over in Australia just gets hit with so much cold email crap that he just ignores it, right? But now we're asking, you know, our cold outreach hook is to experience it rather than be sold something, okay? And because ChatGPT is so hot right now, you're able to, it changes the dynamic, right? We all get these, we'll get you 30 appointments in a month or you don't pay type stuff, right? From the sales bros. But now we cut through the noise because we're able to, you know, get them to experience it rather than forcing an offer down their throat. It just changes the dynamic, okay? So have a read through this document. It explains more about that and how it closes itself and all that cool stuff. Does that make sense, mate? All right. It looks like the SMS is finished. So you're only advertising in the UK, not US? No, we're doing all of our advertising in US and we're still not.
No, all three. UK,
all three.
UK, Canada, and US.
There's how much I know. All right. So we're not bothered about the A2P stuff. I mean, how much is it affecting us, Graham?
So A2P is important and you need to get it set up now, but we're still in progress after 4 weeks. We had a delay because HighLevel wouldn't let UK businesses do it for a while, I think because it's quite new. So we're 4 weeks in waiting still, but we sent, as I said, we sent 44,000 last month. We're going to be probably more this month. We haven't seen the 20 error code for A2P, which is I think 30034. So it hasn't affected us at all yet.
Interesting.
The deadline's 31st of August. Will that be pushed back? I don't know. There's still a lot of people waiting to be registered. Yeah.
Which tier high level do you need for this? Agency or SaaS? See the agency level, can't it?
I mean, to build this out, you could have it on the lowest one.
The lowest one as well.
Like you just get one sub account, so you won't be able to build on sub accounts for other clients.
Yeah, you don't need the SaaS, the 497 or month one to be able to run this for a lot of clients.
No.
No.
We're still on the 297.
Yeah, we're still on the 297. All right. Sorry, does this new any niche Android contain the email Android? If not, can you quickly show us how we would add that to the snapshot sub account?
Okay.
Maybe not today, maybe not on this call, Azu, but I know you're in Roya, I believe, right?
I'll do my loom.
Yeah, he'll do a loom for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you found the difference for acquiring clients using any niche specific demo bot, specific niche versus the any niche? Any niche is, I think it's both work really well as the answer. I like the any niche better. What we try and work towards is having a high response rate to the first SMS that goes out. So what was the first SMS that you got there, Graham?
I think it was like, what was it?
So I'm just reading out the one that we've preloaded into your account, and it gets about a 60% response rate, which means that if you're getting $3 per lead, $4 per lead coming into your, if you're running paid ads to it, then you're getting a conversation with a business owner for about $6 or $7 and getting them to engage with an Android, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. So we like that because the experiment angle, and by the way, we've tested this a lot, really works. So it says, let's play a game. Pretend you're interested in purchasing waste management services to respond to the messages like a customer would. To begin, reply with the word start. That's how it works, right? So they just get back start. 60% of the people do that, and then they're into the demo. So I like that. I do like the any niche.
It's worth noting as well that since doing the any niche instead of the other one, we've got a much higher reply rate. We're on 60% reply rate for the any niche versus 47% for the other Android. Yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. Donald's just said, I really appreciate you guys doing this. Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry, say that again. 60% response rate on the any niche, was it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the key, people. Like, people say that Facebook lead ads don't work, right? And the quality isn't there. But the only metric that I'm looking at with any kind of microscope is how many people start the Android. Okay, and if you can get, as I said, $4 leads, some people get cheaper than that as well. Then you're about $6, $7 a conversation. That's so cool, so cheap for a business owner. All right, and then what happens? Obviously, and the other beauty of this is, right, that I forgot to tell you guys, is that we're getting a valid phone number for every single business owner. So we've now got almost 30,000 business owners on our database. We can send an SMS to a segment of them, or all 30,000 if we want, with an offer. And it just blows up our email inbox. We can't do it because we just get too much business. Do you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. Sales Android, Android's just the name of it. It's nothing to do with iOS or Android operating systems. Rajiv's asking, thanks. How do you approach the client already, if the client already has chat text US option on their website, move to a next one to enable us to work on chat on the client's website? So you can easily put this into live chat. It's the same type of theory here, right? I'm not sure what the first question means. Sorry, Rajiv. Matt Eve, Android is just another name for the robot in the context. Thank you. When you open HighLevel and show us the conversation, we'll get to that in a sec. Aaron, I've already asked about it. I've answered how much we charge. How do you factor the costs into Twilio and Zaps into the monthly fee? We absorb them in the early stages, and then we'll add them on later after the test. Probably does work. It doesn't.
Probably doesn't have the auto replay feature. So if ChatGPT times out, it won't replay it. Whereas I believe Make and Zapier do.
Yeah, exactly. That said, even if you gave away the Android, you could still make great money selling HighLevel. This is the other thing, right? Like, this is why I love it. There's two reasons why I love this so much. The first one is that we get, Pebbly added auto reply now. All right, cool. Matt, so you can sell the HighLevel service, the HighLevel SaaS thing to all of these 30,000 people, right? And grow a SaaS agency or whatever they call it, super fast, right? And the other thing is, I've never seen a way to get in front of people's databases so easily. Okay, they will literally hand over their database to you, because they think that it's dead, right? And they've got this cool AI tool that's able to reignite it for them. So before, in order to get your hands on a client's database, it's like really hard to do because they're so protective of it. But now we're able to use this Sales Android as a tool, which means it's open game. Very, very, very cool stuff. All right, let's have a look at this conversation. Where can I find it, Graham?
Yeah, just go other one, the one next to it, that one there. Yeah. Can I just click on that?
That one?
Yep.
All right, so this is where the rubber hits the road, hey? All right. Graham already knows because he's answered these questions, right? So, hey, let's play a game. Pretend you're interested in purchasing waste management services. Respond to the messages like a customer would. To begin, apply with the word start. So this is where the 60% response rate kicks in. Okay, cool. So do you generate a significant amount of waste on a regular basis? This is all AI now. Could you define significant? By significant, we mean a noticeable amount of waste that requires regular collection and disposal. This could be in the form of large volume or weight of waste or consistent need for waste removal services. Can you estimate approximately how much waste you generate in a week or a month? We have about 50 bags a week of waste. Cool. So then it's going, do you have commercial or residential property where the waste is generated? Commercial. Cool. Is your commercial property located within 20-mile radius of our service area? Yes, it is. Great. Based on your responses, you'll qualify as a prospect for our rubbish removal service. We appreciate you taking the time to answer the questions. Experiment over. At this point, we would ask the client to book a call using the calendar or send them a sales letter. Do you want to hear more about our done for you Sales Android service? Yes, please. Great. Please read this. I don't know if this is, oh yeah, it works. All right. This is our Google Doc. It's got a quiz down the bottom and that does all the qualifying for us. I'm not going to show you too much of that, but yeah, I hope that impresses you guys. It certainly impresses the clients. All right. Coming up on just over an hour now. Barely anyone's dropped off, which is a good sign. I hope we've had you on the edge of the seats. Is there any kind of final questions before we wrap up?
I'm off to collect Angie now from down the road. I just wanted to let you know, thank you very much. You guys are pretty amazing at all this, and we follow you closely.
Thanks, Nick. It's always a pleasure, mate. Say hi to Angie for me. I'll catch you
Will
later.
do. Thank you, mate. Take care.
Take care. Take care.
Hey, Dan, it's Russ.
Hey, Russ.
How you going?
Good, mate.
Hey, Graham.
You're up late?
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, I haven't been getting much sleep over the last couple of weeks. I've been excited by these Androids.
Good.
Just from my perspective, from someone who's not been in a lead gen business before, or and had to sort of a very steep learning curve, any niche Android has been perfect, because I wasn't sure what niche to go into, so I've just been throwing it out there like chips to a seagull.
Nice, mate. I like it. Have they been nibbling? Any nibbles?
Yeah. I closed a client today.
Right on you, mate. What type of client? Can you share that?
This is in finance.
Nice.
And I've got them on an upfront deal, sold them a HighLevel package as well. And I have no idea what I'm selling them for either. So it's just that,
nice.
Yeah. So it's just getting it out there and having the conversation. And you're right, it's a very easy conversation to have when you talk to them about their database.
When they've seen the ad, they know it's about ChatGPT, which they know they need. They just don't know how to implement it, or what they need it for. When they've experienced ChatGPT via the Android, when they've read the Google Doc offer and been qualified out by the quiz, and then finally got the chance to speak to you, it's a done deal. Yeah. I've never seen leads that are just ready to go. You'll close.
I think I heard you say ages ago that they just want to throw money at you.
Yeah.
She goes, right, what do I got to do? How do we get this started?
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, thanks, mate. It's been really good. It's I haven't done much advertising before, so I'm about to launch into that now.
Mate, I just saw someone today that turned this on and is getting $2 leads, putting us to shame. You must have a better video. By the way, Facebook Reels work the best to this. That's the cheapest.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's probably spending less. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, sorry, Graham got a little bit uppity there. He's managing my ads as well. Graham does it all. Thanks, Russ.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Graham.
No worries. Oh yeah, Dan, there will be a replay. Is there an offer to get this? Guy, there's no cost. This is yours for free. Have a look at that Google Doc. I should be charging for this, bloody hell. All right. Do you recommend your next step is to invest in rent out your Android training? You read my mind, Omar. Of course it is. I'd love to have you over there. We give you all of our ads, all of our templates, how to manage HighLevel. We give you the Tech Terminator sales support. We have a bonus section where we install all of our kind of other Androids that we're working. We've got sales calls, recordings, we've got scripts, we've got all of that type of stuff. So Roya is a good next bet for you. The replay on school is going to be on Thursday next week. Sorry, mate, we can't get it over the weekend. We got to edit it, and the team's actually going to Menorca for a holiday. We're all going over there on Monday morning, so it's going to be a bit chilled for us. Have you found local service business owners read your Google Doc and then book appointments? 100% yes. The Google Doc's key. Can you go over your offer, 1K up front and 500 monthly? Yes, 100% you can. Super value today. Thanks, Craig. Do you still have the split payment option for Roya? Is that Andrew? Andrew, email me, mate. Email me. Where can we get the any niche snippet? It's all in that Google Doc, mate. Just follow that and you'll have everything you need. The Tech Terminator sales support are basically, they're like Jamie is my Tech Terminator, right? So I just do the ads and the closing, and then we send it over to Jamie and he does the build, right? And I split 50% of the business with him. Tech Terminators are the guys that will do that as well. You can have your own Jamie inside Roya, if that makes sense. Great value, super impressed. Thanks, Dan. Is it possible to do a similar quiz in HighLevel? Do you need the tool you used? So we use Leads Hook. I love Leads Hook. That's our favorite tool, but you can do it in HighLevel as well. All right, and that's goes to the Google Doc again. No, you can't see the Google Doc I mentioned. Sorry, guys. I missed the start, sorry. The traffic source is like cold outreach, right? So that can be cold email, or it can be Facebook ads, TikTok ads. Anything with a lead form works really well. What I would say is don't sleep on your warm audience. Go with them first and exhaust them first. Is the best offer database reactivation? No, not necessarily. Depends on the client. I always like to understand and have a look through the chat with the sales Android to see what they're talking about. I have a look at the URL of their business and I do a bit of due diligence. And then we kind of make an offer based on, what's best suited for their business. That makes sense. All right. Let's just start with ads if no lead gen clients. Yeah, man. Start with ads. Get it out there. In Roya, we teach you all of that, by the way. Okay. Ad scripts, how to build the lead forms, everything. All right. That's everything. It looks like that's all the questions. We've gone for about just over an hour. Graham built it in probably 10 minutes.
It would have been 8 if I wasn't explaining that all the way through. So.
Yeah. All right. What audience? Alex, this is a good question. What audience? Guess what? It's a broad audience, mate. We just go broad with our audience. Reasonable amount to spend. All the questions are coming in. Facebook to get started. I'd go with like $30 a day minimum, to be honest with you. Alvin, to clarify this, any niche Android helps generate our leads and buying the Roya helps set up the fulfillment for the clients we sell. Yeah, pretty much a bit of both. So the Android, the any niche Android helps you get clients, okay? And the rent out your Android program is how to then deliver for the clients as well, rent it out, okay? A lot of the times you'll be able to get a Tech Terminator to do that for you if you're not particular techie like me. Other people can keep 100% of the profits and do it themselves. Why the second prompt was at HighLevel versus Zapier?
No, so the way it works is that you get, so the very first prompt generates the qualifying criteria that goes into your second prompt. So the second prompt is where it asks all the questions, qualifying you out. Then when the experiment over is done, it goes to a different prompt, which is all about selling that FunView Android to you and dropping in the link for your Google Doc. So those are the 3 prompts.
Yeah. By the way, in Roy, we teach you how to write the Google Docs as well. We give you the templates and the whole lot. All right. Okay, thank you. All right, people, unless there's a burning question, yeah, Menorca is going to be so much fun. Perfect weather out there. All right. Link to Roya. Reach out to me at dan.wardrope@flexdigital.com.
Hey, Graham, just quickly, where do we put the link to the calendar?
So where it said custom values GDoc link, you can use that for a calendar if you've not got a GDoc. Basically, if you want to book appointments instead, you pop it in there, and you will need to amend some of the second prompts.
Okay. Is that where the link's held, in the second prompt?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
I'll go into more detail. I think there's a course in the AI Automation Agency Ninjas, which all you guys have got when you're in there. If you pop in there, you'll be able to see where the prompts are and how you can amend them and things like that.
I forgot to tell you that. I should have told you. In Classroom, the Any Niche Sells Android, top left here. Can everyone see this?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is don't want to be too braggadocious, right? But this is a $5,000 course, I think, here on how to build this. It's got the whole lot in there. Don't want to be too hypey, but it's freaking awesome stuff. All right.
Is that
So if
only
you're,
new?
pardon?
Is that only new?
This is only new. We just put it in here today.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so that's everything in there that you guys are going to need. Okay. All right. The community course only open at level 9. How do we get to level 9?
Sorry, I've just amended that.
Darren, we've just amended that. All right, cool. That's interesting how you can gamify it like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I might lock you guys out. Make sure you comment before you can get to level 9.
I did it on Reddit.
All right. All right, guys and girls. I'm going to leave you to it. It's good to see people joining here. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Nat. Thanks, Graham.
Yeah.
I think Jamie might have been here as well. I didn't introduce Jamie. Sorry, mate. Just got a bit carried away. I'll speak to everyone later. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I think that you probably did, because it's really, really cool what we're seeing with AI and everything that's going on with it for us agency owners. I've always said we're about a year ahead of the general population, and there's never been a better time to jump on this bandwagon and start making some good cash and really helping clients along the way. Okay, so as I said, if you're more of a step-by-step person, there's a link below. It's in the description, which will take you to how to do this yourself, and you'll have all of the training and everything that goes with it. It's absolutely free. Please do enjoy. And as I said, if you've got any questions, please answer them below, and I'll speak to you soon.